First and foremost, I want to thank you. This is the third time I've been back to Delaware since Election Day, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I will tell you that I am no longer in control of my schedule. But I'm very, very grateful to all of you. You helped me twice last year. It was a long 18 months. And as I joke often, my wife was thrilled we got to run twice in a year. Multiple versions of districts, 2 elections. I think I had 3 or 4 opponents, but we won when it mattered most. And I'm grateful to you. As we said, or I said to someone earlier, just like my colleague, I know who I work for. And that isn't the people in Washington, it isn't the lobbyists, it isn't the donors, it's the people of the 19th Congressional District, and I will promise you that I will never, ever forget that, ever. What I also want you to know is that when we first got to D.C., many of my colleagues thanked us. New York, of course, flipped 4 Democratic seats. We now have a balanced congressional delegation, 13-11. Is that right, Chris? 14-11? Democrat and Republican. The most Republican members from New York in 20 years. If you remember, the Democrats in Albany wanted to break us down to about 4. We're at 11. Now, one of those has clearly got some issues. He counts for like 3 or 4 members all on his own. That'll be solved. That'll be solved by criminal investigation, or it'll be solved by ethical investigation. And I'm confident that we'll still hold on to that seat. But we have a very diverse, very complementary delegation of Republican members from New York, and we're all working together. And we know that we have an important job to do. But when we got there, our colleagues said, thank goodness for New York, you saved America. After 2 weeks in the House of Representatives, I can tell you that saving America is more challenging than just winning on November 8th. But we're giving it our all. I want to tell you that the best part of going to Washington, D.C. is coming back home again. And I'm grateful to be back home again for just 2 days before we go back. So thank you for the opportunity and the honor. I joked as I gave out my email. Somebody said, you may regret that. I won't. I want you to be able to continue to reach out to us in one way or another. We have our staff, although we're waiting for our second office to open. We are open full-fledged in Broome County. We'll have our second office fully opened in Greene County next week. We will be with Peter and perhaps some others here in Delaware County once we get that all worked out. And our folks are on the ground working here for all of you. So if there are constituent concerns, if you've got issues, I want you to reach out. Some of you have already interacted with Caitlin Daly, my district director. She worked for me for the last 3 years in county government. She's now on the ground trying to get things organized. So please reach out. Let me tell you what we're doing, and then I'll sit down. Oh, excuse me. Then I'll introduce the keynote speaker for today. We made a few commitments. One was to immediately begin focusing on federal spending. Where and what are our priorities? How do we drive down cost of living and taxes and slow the rate of spending that the Washington Democrats have been engaged in these last 2 years? Trillions of dollars spent without concern for running up the credit card. Remember, every dollar we spend now in America is one more dollar, 98 cents, one more dollar that we have to put on our credit card. Well, for the last 2 years, they put $5 trillion on the credit card. That bill's coming due soon. It's like sending your kids off to college. They run up the credit card. You don't have much choice. You got to pay the credit card bill, but you're not going to hand that credit card back to your kid and say, go at it again. And so $5 trillion worth of spending added to that credit card debt over the course of the last 2 years. That is devalued the American dollar. It's been what's been fueling inflation, and it's running up our costs. And we've got to confront it. And you know that their priority wasn't to slow down spending. It was to hire more people to get more dollars out of your pockets, 87,000 IRS agents. And Speaker McCarthy said, and we all agreed, the very first bill we took up, and I was proud to sponsor and vote for it, was to repeal the funding for those 87,000 IRS agents. And I have to tell you, the responses, even the guy whose name escapes me, who ran against me, already criticizing. What do you mean? You're giving rich people the pass. Let me tell you. First of all, no problem since biblical times has ever been solved by hiring more tax collectors. No problem. Even Jesus went there first and turned the place over. But worse yet, the IRS doesn't need more people. It needs to be more effective and more efficient, and it needs to be more respectful to those who can't afford it the least. And those agents, they don't go after the rich folks. They go after middle-class families. They go after small business. They go after the folks who can't afford the lawyers. I was just watching the Bernie Madoff documentary. Talk about a guy that should have been in jail, and without question. All he needed to do was tell the inspectors, hey, listen, I'm okay, and they turned the other way. So we made clear our priorities are at 87,000 IRS agents. It's 200,000 police officers across America. It's securing the American borders to ensure that we have security here at home. It's focusing our resources, by the way, on our kids to create job opportunities and quality education. Those are the things that we are focused on and we're going to deliver on. Now, we only have one house of two houses. But we're going to push, and we're going to agitate, we're going to irritate, we're going to legislate on the priorities you sent us there for. And I promise you, every day that I'm there, I'm concerned about how we pay our bills, how we drive down taxes, how we keep our communities safe, how we create more job opportunities for kids in our communities. That's our priority. It's nothing else, no one else. It is those priorities. I'm grateful that I was asked to serve on the House Agricultural Committee. It was my first choice. I asked to serve on the Ag Committee and the Transportation Infrastructure Committee, and thankfully I've gotten both along with the Small Business Committee. It's all, committee assignments aren't all that significant to most people, but what it allowed me to do is to focus on the concerns of upstate New York. It allowed me to focus the tax dollars that we take that, some big cities want those infrastructure dollars to go to them. Well, I want them to go to aging infrastructure in upstate. I want it to go to not only to high-speed internet service, but cell service in upstate. I want it to go to securing our water and sewer infrastructure in upstate. I want it to drive down costs for communities so that we can slow the rate of growth on property taxes in upstate New York. If we're going to spend a dollar, we're going to fight damn hard to be sure that that dollar gets back to upstate New York. And from those committees, I'll have that opportunity. So I am thrilled to get started. I am not going to forget where I began nor who I work for. It's all of you, and I want you to be very, very open anytime. Let me know what you're thinking so that we can go back down to D.C. to fight for you. I'll be around a lot, I promise you that. But I just mean it on behalf of my family, and I would say, my kids had a great time when we came out for Hancock for the tree lighting. My kids are ready to move in. I don't know who they're going to live with, but we'll see. But nevertheless, my family is very, very grateful, and as am I to all of you. Thank you. You did help save America. I promise you that. You helped save America. We're going to deliver on that promise. So,